Caddis Maximus here, this time with a little review of the Harbor Freight Holt self-adjusting oil filter wrench pliers. I actually found these on the return shelf. Obviously, somebody bought them, used them, and returned them. They are indeed made in Taiwan, so at least they're not Chinese. They're kind of funky. They're real thin, so they're not like the most rigid, but they're okay. What kind of attracted me to them was the fact that they just had some really pretty aggressive teeth on them. And secondly, which is the real reason that I bought them, besides them being like, whatever it was, $10.67 on the open box shelf, I think they're normally 15 bucks, is this huge capacity, all the way from 4 3/4 inches down to 2 1/4 inches, all the way down to pretty small oil filters. And that's really, once again, why I got them, was actually the large capacity. I do like using oil filter sockets, but sometimes they slip. Obviously, they are pliers, so they won't get into situations such as things like this type of oil filter wrench. This is a strap wrench that you can use, that's socketed, so you can put like an extension such as this, where you can really get down in some pretty tight areas. So obviously, it's not going to get into all situations. But I do like it compared, let's say I have these Condis. These are a forged set of oil filter pliers. Really like these, but they only have a few teeth, had a few issues with these slipping, and there just isn't a ton of range. A set of pliers like this, I mean, it has an okay amount of range, but the issue is that the handles start getting so far apart when you're trying to work on large filters. And I thought that's the idea. Probably the interesting part is this is the kind of cam type self-adjusting. So what ends up happening is you clamp down, and when you get to a certain spot, this little bar forces the handle forward, and there's like a little ratchet thing here, gets stuck on those teeth, and when that happens, then it starts giving you, it locks up and then allows you to use them as normal pliers. And so that's really the advantage, is the fact that the handles are going to be closer together regardless of what size you're working on, except for maybe the absolute maximum size. In this position, you wouldn't get them any closer, but anywhere else, and you're going to have just the handles closer together, and you're going to have better leverage, better grip on them. As far as how they're built, they seem okay. Plate steel construction, pretty decent, solid rivets. They got quite a few of them around the edge. That seems just fine. But I think their advantage is, one, is just for convenience, because they are self-adjusting, and when it comes to oil filter pliers, it's actually a good argument. The metal is pretty thin here, but as far as working on oil filters, I think they'd hold up. The worst thing I'd be worried about is like having these sitting on the shop floor, or maybe sitting on top of some other tools. If you step on this will bend. These are just super thin pieces of metal right there, so that's where you're going to have a problem. But other than that, I think they'd work okay, and I do like these aggressive teeth. These are pretty sharp and deep teeth. They have a whole bunch of them, 2 sets on the short jaw, and I think that's actually a good advantage. Those aggressive teeth will bite into the oil filters a little bit better, and a set of pliers like this actually has an argument for them, because you can just buy one set of pliers, and whether you're working on large truck filters or real small, even, motorcycle or small automotive filters, when you buy this set of pliers, at least you don't have to run into the issue with all these other type of oil filter tools and pliers where they may not be big enough, or they may not get small enough, and you have to go and hunt down a different set of tools to get your work done. Anyway, just my 2 cents about these Harbor Freight Holt self-adjusting oil filter pliers. I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. And if you have a chance, take a look at the Teespring link in the description, and maybe pick up a t-shirt. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Till next time, Caddis Maximus out.